So Nuketown is finally here. I've had a chance to play it, and I'm not even gonna really honestly hate on it too much in this video because it doesn't really matter. I mean, that's not really what the premise of this video even is. I just want to actually neutrally talk about this map, even though I didn't want it in the game, because I think that even though I'm not really a fan of this map coming back, even though I love the map historically, that it should honestly just be an example, not only to Treyarch, but also to Activision and to the player base. This game coming into Black Ops 4 just honestly proves a lot of points that I've been talking about, the community has been talking about, and just proves what Treyarch and Activision have been up to is just not gonna work. So I have had a chance finally to play the map, and you know, it's not garbage. Like, it isn't as bad as Black Ops 3. I honestly thought it was gonna be worse because of the specialists, and yeah, the specialists are bad, especially with a map so small. It does kind of ruin the experience of Nuketown, but overall, I mean, it's okay in some game modes, you know, it's gonna be fine. But I just can't see playing like Control or Domination on this map, honestly, especially with how wonky the spawns are. But, you know, a lot of it comes back to how they actually redesigned the look of the map. I mean, I think that it looks great, honestly. This is one of, in my opinion, one of the better looking maps in Black Ops 4 that aren't just, you know, stone cold remakes of previous maps. So while it doesn't play the best, especially in certain game modes, it's going to play horribly. You know, it's not as bad as I thought, and it is overall better than Black Ops 3, I think primarily because people aren't wall running and then shooting you from 80 feet in the air with a goddamn two-shot SMG and shit, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, Nuketown, honestly, should just be an example, because, like I said, the specialists are gonna ruin the gameplay in certain aspects, but we need no specialist playlists in Black Ops 4, because I watch a lot of what the community has to say. As someone who's been playing the games for going on 10 years in multiplayer, you know, I know a lot about Call of Duty, and I have a lot to say. Overall, it seems that people, their biggest complaints really about Black Ops 4 really kind of stem from the specialists in this game. People hate the 9-bang, they hate Ajax in general. I mean, the shield and the 9-bang Treyarch has yet to nerf to where either is really counterable without having to use like reactor core or something ridiculous. And then you have, of course, Torque, who on this map is devastating. Shutting a lane down on this map basically turns it into shipment, it seems. So the specialists in this game are just something that people aren't a huge fan of. I don't really like specialists in Call of Duty anyways. I figure, honestly, it's not really part of the traditional Call of Duty gameplay that I like, and on top of that, I feel like a lot of the time these are just crutches. What I mean by that is, a bad player in Call of Duty in like Modern Warfare 2 would go like 2-30 because he was fucking terrible, right? He had nothing to help him. He had to strictly rely on gun skill, you know, he had to actually be decent at the game to do well. In Black Ops 4, at a certain point, especially with like the dog, you literally just get kills for existing in the game at a certain point. That's not really skill, and specialists ruin Nuketown anyways. The map's too small, especially for things like cluster grenades, 9-bangs, war machines, this stupid goddamn canine unit, this dog that's basically a little tank on fucking paws, this little seeker drone going around and shocking everybody, even though it's pretty easy to counter. All you gotta do is hit square at the right time. Just not the best, you know? I'm not a huge fan of all that. Not a huge fan of the kind of gameplay that brings, really, because it just encourages bitch move behavior, especially when you can literally 9-bang across like 2/3 of the map just by throwing it up into the air. So we need no specialist playlists in Black Ops 4, at least one for Nuketown. I mean, I would rather play the whole game without specialists, and honestly, if this game didn't have specialists in general, I think it would be an amazing Call of Duty. Like, it'd be way better, but we at least need it for Nuketown, because it's really gonna get old. I'm not gonna want to play this map very often if this is gonna continue. My next point on why Nuketown should be an example is, if you're gonna bring a map back several times, you really have to overhaul how it looks. I think that was a lot of the problem with Nuketown, and why, even though, you know, most people obviously wanted it back, some of us didn't. You know, I got tired of looking at virtually the same map. Black Ops 1 and 2 Nuketowns were obviously the best, but, you know, there was hardly any difference in the design on those maps. And Black Ops 3, the map didn't look good. I'm sorry. Maybe if I was playing Halo or Titanfall, the map would have looked way better, but it just wasn't there for me, you know? The map felt out of place in the entire game. It just the aesthetics of the map didn't look good to me. The map was pretty much nothing but blue, dark blue, cobalt, orange, burnt orange, really bright green off the grass, and robot. And I think a lot of the reason why Black Ops 4's Nuketown is better than Black Ops 3's is not only because there aren't people wall running, the map's different. It gives you a different experience. You're at a different place. It's in a different environment. The colors are still vibrant, but the houses look different. They have different things inside of them than just these weird synths and shit like in Black Ops 3. It's an actual era of history that is, actually happened, and that really helps this map. And on top of that, another reason why Nuketown needs to be an example is because maps should be free in Black Ops 4. I know, the whole Black Ops Pass, you get the Black Ops Pass for your maps. But honestly, we're at a point in time now where even Battlefield, with EA is giving people free maps. I know it's pretty much just really a way of getting people to play Battlefield 5, but even then, most of the industry is kind of wanting to move away from map packs, and fans in Call of Duty don't want to buy map packs anymore. I mean, if you think about it, all a map pack really is cut content from the game. It's maps they didn't want to include in the actual multiplayer that they bundle together for $20 that not all the players get, so you're already dividing the community and the player base into these small little fractions that after like 2 weeks nobody's even playing in the DLC playlists. After everyone's gotten bored of the maps, because most of the time, I'm gonna be honest, DLC maps in Call of Duty just aren't that great. That's generally why they're cut from the main game. People get bored of them really quickly. So paying $20 for these maps, or at least from what we understand right now in Black Ops 4, paying $50 for 12 maps or whatever, it's a little bit ridiculous, especially when you can get a better deal at Call of Duty's competitors. I mean, if you're planning to play a game for longer than like 3 months, Battlefield 5, I mean, they're going to have maps all the way through this game, and they're all going to be free. Of course, Call of Duty didn't tell you not to buy their game and didn't fill it with a bunch of fucking SJW crap, but even then on top of that, if you can get past that, Battlefield 5's not looking like a horrible buy. Speaking on that, and another reason why Nuketown should be an example, is that maps might not be free in Black Ops 4, ? Potential that all the Black Ops Pass maps are remade maps. Now, this is my personal little, conspiracy theory, I guess you could say. And at this point, I'm just rambling on, no script or anything. But during the leaks and everything from the former Treyarch employee, he keeps referring to DLC 1, which obviously we all know is pretty much a name that we give to the first DLC map pack that ever comes out in a game. He could possibly just be referring to the first Zombies map that comes out. He did also confirm Nuketown Zombies and stuff like that, but my own little theory here is, and of course take this with a pinch of salt, I could be entirely wrong and just be a fucking moron, My personal little theory on this whole thing is the Black Ops Pass maps are all going to be remade maps, right? The 12 or whatever maps are going to be maps from maybe World at War, Black Ops 1, 2, and 3 that are all remade and put into Black Ops 4, and that's going to be the $50 passes. But if you don't want the remade maps, they're also going to have, 16 or whatever DLC maps in these map packs, or maybe less, that you can buy. I mean, that just it's a theory, of course. There's no real hard set evidence or anything yet, at least yet. We can challenge that one here in a few months when stuff starts really, rolling downhill for Black Ops 4 during its life cycle. But I mean, I wouldn't be that surprised that Activision puts in this $50 pass where you basically just get remastered content, and then you can also pay $80 more for maps, considering they're already charging upwards of $1,000 to advance through their Black Ops Battle Pass. So, I don't know, just an idea. Don't take it too seriously or anything. Don't take it as fact, of course. We don't know yet. But Nuketown being an example here, I mean, everyone seems hyped up about Nuketown, except for a very select few of us. And I'm sorry, you're just not going to keep that same excitement with the fans and the players of this game with paid DLC. The whole reason Nuketown is really that hyped up, I mean, if they charged like $5 for this map, people would still buy it, but there would not be as many players on Nuketown as there would be if it's just free. So maps being free is already being proven to really kind of get people excited for updates in the game and getting people back on the game even a month after the launch. Here in about 3 months, when the whole Call of Duty life cycle generally starts to die out real bad around February, March, April, I guess is a better time frame when all the leaks for the next Call of Duty start coming and everyone's getting excited about what's going on next and stuff like that. You're just not going to keep people's interest if you're giving us only paid DLC. So if the plan is to do what I'm saying and make the Black Ops Pass all remade maps, which they could easily do, and then of course sell DLC map packs, which it seems a little bit suggested by those leaks from the Treyarch employee, but we don't know yet. If that is the plan, you're just not going to keep interest, and Nuketown is an example of that. So another reason, and honestly the last reason why Nuketown should be an example, is that DLC and updates to a game should not be timed exclusives for either console. And I'm a PlayStation player, but it's not right, you know? It isn't right that PC and Xbox One have to wait a week to get even updates to the game, which is the most insane thing to me. The fact that they have to wait for events and for free, quote-unquote, free cosmetics and stuff like that is fucking, it's insane to me. And they have to wait for Nuketown. They have to wait 7 days for Nuketown. They have to wait 7 days for Nuketown because they don't play on the console Activision is partnered with and wants them to play on. So I just don't understand timed exclusivity anymore. It's just ridiculous, you know? I didn't like it when Xbox had it for 30 days, I didn't like it when PlayStation had it for 30 days, and I still don't like it when we have it for a week. It's just kind of ridiculous. It shouldn't be this tit-for-tat thing like PlayStation players all the time. Well, Xbox had it for 30 days, like 5 years ago. Who gives a fuck, you know? If you sit around and still care about shit like that, dude, you really gotta move on. Like, you gotta go outside and get some air. If the fact that Xbox had it 30 days earlier than PlayStation back in Black Ops 1 makes you fucking upset and cry at night, you know? And I know I'm saying you know a lot, I'm just kind of rambling on here again, but it's just not a good business practice. It's not a way to market your game. Just give everybody the maps, give everybody the cosmetic updates and whatnot, whatever you put timed exclusivity on, just give it to everybody at the same time so we can all just enjoy the goddamn game, please. That would be nice. Thank you. Anyways, I mean, that's just why Nuketown should be an example. I've gone through it now, so I mean, there's no way that Activision or Treyarch are actually going to listen to it. Have you ever noticed that, especially with Nuketown, I didn't get the gameplay early. They didn't give me the map or anything early to play on so I could get gameplay up on my channel. I honestly don't think Activision and Treyarch like what I have to say very much, but that's okay. I mean, people love saying I'm paid by Activision for some reason. I don't understand that one either. It's like I shit on them all the time, so. Anyways, Nuketown isn't horrible, I guess. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's still not great, and I mean, in like a month I'll be bored of playing it again, but better than Black Ops 3, not better than the first two. Just a dying board map that just keeps getting recycled into the game, but, you know, let's make it an example, especially since, I mean, it's a great opportunity to. It has a lot of value to be an example, especially to the entire franchise, to Treyarch, to Activision, and to the player base. So, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. If you didn't, you'll probably dislike it in the first 2 seconds. Subscribe if you're brand new around here. Thank you to all my channel members who help me by supporting the channel with $5 a month to circumvent demonetization, YouTube's whims, all kinds of stuff like that. If you'd like to become one and buy that Optimus Battle Pass, make sure to do so at the link down below. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus getting 9 banged across the map on Nuketown and signing out.